Blaine has decided to join a nationwide opt-out movement of parents who say they will not allow their children to take the exam.
Okay, my question is, how is lowering America's educational standards to prepare kids for community college? Because that's what it's all about. Because you mentioned before that, the emphasis is, and I have some stuff here to quote before this guy tries to carry me out.
Okay.
But, hey, listen, parents, take control. This is not a CNN political debate. Let's go.
Let him ask his question.
This is what I will say, in fairness to everyone who asked questions, we do have some that are dovetailing to that.
Let him ask his question.
So the next question. So this is a dovetail.
Listen, don't stand for this. You're sitting here like cattle. You have questions. You confront them. They don't want to do it in public.
Okay, the next
Excuse me, buddy. Hey, this is America. This is not a CNN political debate. You're managing to go through the water. Hey, that's right. Parents, you need to question these people. Do the research. It's online. Top 10
Okay, so the next question to our panelists. The next question to our panelists is Dr. Lowry.
Hey, I'm not an activist, folks. I'm not an activist. I don't have experience. I'm a parent. I have a right to speak.
Okay, so
You're asking softball questions.
And again, I do want to be very respectful to everyone who asks questions. And so the next question really is, Dr. Lowry, to you, because you work so closely with 2- and 4-year institutions. Is the Common Core state standards implementation by Maryland and attempt to filter students to the community college?
And now they're concerned.
Tara, would you tell me a little bit about what you just told me, repeat it for the camera, about some of the things that you learned about Common Core and what it's taught?
Well, obviously they are being taught through speeches of politicians. They're not learning textbooks. They learn about Rosa Parks through one of President Obama's speeches. They don't learn it in a textbook. They learn in 8th grade. Then one of the modules comes aligned with a book called It's Okay to Commit Suicide. They also have in the modules on the Engage New York, you can look in there, and when it's time to teach the children about slavery, the teachers are told not to mention Abraham Lincoln.
Everything you have been told about Common Core is a lie. It is not a state initiative. It was not developed by educators. It is not going to better prepare students for college or real-world applications. It is part of a century-long process of using the education system to mold students into more obedient workers and tax cattle. And it is promoted by billionaires with hidden agendas of their own. After all, if Common Core is worthy of hundreds of millions of dollars in direct investment and billions of dollars in indirect investment, why doesn't Gates send his own children to a school that actually makes use of the standards? Instead, the prestigious Lakeside School in Seattle that the Gates children attend does not mention the Common Core math or language arts standards anywhere on their website and explicitly states that their school is for more advanced children. As opposition to Common Core continues to rise and implementation continues to proceed, concerned parents, students, and community members would do well to ask why Common Core is good enough for their own children, but not for the privileged offspring of the Gates and the other billionaire oligarchs behind the modern education system. Common Core has been developed with the direct support of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which has invested $173 million in the development of Common Core materials and promoting the initiative at the state level, and an estimated $2.3 billion in total funding related to Common Core standards development, including grants for the development of biometric bracelets that will monitor students' interest level in class.
This is from the Department of Education. This came out just in February. They have some disturbing plans, because I'm looking at that MRI thing and I'm like, what is that? Plans for data mining on your children. Part of the student monitoring from kindergarten to graduation will include functional magnetic resonance imaging, MRIs, and, quote, other sensors. Sensors provide constant parallel streams of data and are used with data mining techniques and self-report measures to examine frustration, motivation, flow, confidence, boredom, and fatigue. Now, here are their tools for the data mining. I just want you to look right here, but there they are. Now, what are these? Well, they include facial expression camera, posture, analysis seats. I love that one. They're going to analyze your kid's posture. They have a pressure mouse to see if they're stressed out. And who doesn't need a nice fashionable wireless skin conductance sensor that's strapped to your kid's wrist all the time? Well, thank you, Bill and Melinda Gates, for that. It's going to help out the children so much. They're going to be so much better for it. They also plan on tracking information on healthcare, family income, voting status, religious affiliation, extracurricular activity, along with literally hundreds of other attributes on this list. Now, I'd love to hear the explanation on how exactly this all raises the educational standards. They are using your kids as a guinea pig. This is a progressive takeover of America's entire school system. If you don't gather now as a public and act now in your local and statewide educational systems, you will not be able to stop this. This is a progressive bonanza. And if it's allowed to be in our schools in any form and become the Common Core of America's next generation, it will destroy America and the system of freedom as we know it. We will be lost, and the corporation in bed with the government will be king. The corporations and the government are in bed together, and this is evil stuff. They've got a near 4-year head start. You have to stand up right now, but you get prepared, because there will be resistance. You will be called a conspiracy theorist. Do not take my word for it. Go to the government sources. Don't take my word for it. This is where the research is found. My team and I will testify to you now. It's only worse when you read it all yourself from the horse's mouth. Don't take it from me. It's much worse.
Parents and teachers opposed to the federal program say it really just sets kids up to fail.
Oh, we love this math. Yeah, no, isn't that terrible? Yeah, this is math. This is why my son is so frustrated with math. The frustration, the tears, the arguing that I have with my son over our way of doing math and the new way of doing math has been very frustrating.
But how exactly will the Obama dictatorship control children through Common Core? Per the Pioneer Institute Cogs in the Machine report, under the guidance of Obama's leftist education czar, Arne Duncan, Common Core seeks to create a technocratic utopia, first envisioned by the so-called progressives in the openly socialist education movement under the FDR administration. But what the progressives could not do in the 1940s, education theorists today can now do easily with computers, that is, collect massive amounts of data on students. This massive data collection plan is no secret. Education czar Arne Duncan, in June of 2009, stated the following: "Hopefully, someday, we can track children from preschool to high school, and from high school to college, and college to career." What data exactly are they collecting? The 416 data points are being fed into a massive computer system in Washington, all of which is being kept secret. We do know, however, that the data includes facial and biological information. But Obama is not just collecting massive amounts of data on students, but teachers as well. In fact, Obama will make children into a massive army of spies, likened to the Hitler Youth. According to Common Core guidelines, so-called master teachers will keep files on teachers with information gathered from students as young as 5 years old, who will in effect be spies for the state. And now Michelle Obama has openly called for children to spy on their parents as well. This is exactly what the Hitler Youth were engaged in under the Nazi regime. Still thinking we're not living under a de facto fascist dictatorship? Think again.
We're gonna change it and rearrange it. We're gonna change the world. Now's the moment where he's wants to sing. Sing with all your heart.
Einen Schlosslein, einen Trotz, eine Herrlichkeit. Wann kehren wir wieder emporsteigen? Genau wie die Väter einst auch. Deutschland nicht des State erhielten, sondern selbst sich schaffen.